Your electric bill doesn't always go up because you used more electricity. Sounds wrong, right? But this summer, the average electric bill is forecast to rise by about 8.5%. That means even if you keep the same AC setting, use the same appliances, and follow the same routine, you could still end up paying more. And the most frustrating part? The real culprit might be something you can't see at all. Maybe, while you're watching this video, one device somewhere in your home is burning electricity in the background while looking completely innocent. So today, I'll show you how to tell whether your bill went up because of your usage, your rate plan, the weather, or one hidden device inside your home. That way, before you blame the thermostat, the AC, or whoever forgot to turn off the lights, you'll know where to check first. Let's start with the obvious suspect, air conditioning. Yes, nobody is shocked by that. If it is 98 degrees outside and your living room feels like soup, your AC is going to run longer. But here's what most people miss. Your AC doesn't make cold, it moves heat, and pushing heat into a 98-degree afternoon is like trying to pour water into a pool that's already overflowing. It's hard, slow, and more energy. That's why the hottest days are expensive. Your compressor works harder, the system runs longer. And be honest, when was the last time you changed your AC filter? Because if the unit is older, dirty, low on refrigerant, or dealing with a clogged filter, it may need a lot more electricity just to give you the same comfort. But here's the part that makes summer bills more complicated. Your AC is not running alone. During a heat wave, millions of homes, offices, stores, restaurants, and factories are all pulling power at the same time. That peak demand puts pressure on the grid. And if your utility uses something called time of use pricing, electricity can cost more during those high demand hours. So you may be getting hit twice: more kilowatt hours and a higher price for each kilowatt hour. And in 2026, there's another growing load on the same grid: data centers. Every time you run an AI tool, stream in 4K, back up photos to the cloud, or use an app that feels instant, a massive building somewhere is pulling power to compute, store, and stay cool. That is more pressure on the same grid your home is using. In a way, your home is now sharing the grid with a much bigger digital world. And if summer is expensive because your house is trying to push heat out, winter gets expensive for a much sneakier reason. Your house starts reacting like it's under stress. Winter is sneakier than summer. In July, you can hear the AC humming and you know exactly where your money is going, but winter bills can climb without a single obvious villain. You didn't buy a hot tub or start a data center in your basement, yet your house is suddenly acting like a small factory. The biggest mistake people make is assuming the thermostat tells the whole story. Even if you keep it at 70 degrees every day, how your house reaches that temperature can change overnight. The real warning sign to look for is a little light or a message on your thermostat that says aux heat. Think of this as your heater's emergency mode. When it gets too cold for your heat pump to keep up, the system kicks in backup electric coils to save you. It works, but it is one of the most expensive ways to heat a home. If you see those three letters AUX, your bill is about to get very unfriendly. Then there is the habit almost everyone understands: the one cold room. Maybe it's the office over the garage or a corner bedroom where your feet turn into ice. Your instinct is to plug in a portable space heater, and honestly, it makes sense. It feels like a cheap, harmless fix, but it's a trap. Most space heaters pull about 1,500 watts. If you run one every night because that room is always cold, you aren't fixing the problem. You're just renting comfort by the hour. The real issue is usually weak insulation or leaky ducts, and that space heater is just the receipt showing you where your house is failing. And winter adds a few smaller hits on top. Longer indoor hours, more laundry, more cooking, more hot showers, more lights on earlier in the day. None of these sound dramatic by themselves, but together they stack up. That's why winter bills feel confusing. You don't always notice a new habit, you notice the total. But the scary part is this: some of the problems winter reveals do not disappear when winter ends. They keep wasting energy all year. The most expensive problems are often the ones you never think to check, like the fact that you might be paying to air condition your attic. In many homes, ductwork runs through unconditioned spaces like attics, crawl spaces, or garages. If those ducts have even small leaks, the cold air you paid for is escaping into a space where nobody lives. This creates a vicious cycle. Your rooms don't feel comfortable, so you crank the thermostat even higher, making your system work twice as hard to cool a box of Christmas decorations and a few spiders. Before you spend thousands on a brand new AC, check the boring stuff first: insulation, vents, and air leaks. And the same idea applies to another system people rarely think about: the water heater. It's a silent giant, often the second biggest energy draw in your home. If the tank is old, filled with sediment, or set to a temperature that's unnecessarily high, it's wasting electricity every single day. You won't notice it's broken because you still have hot water. You just won't realize how much extra energy it's taking to keep that water hot. Finally, there is phantom load, or vampire power. These are the devices that never truly turn off: TVs, game consoles, or even that coffee maker with a digital clock. To be fair, unplugging one phone charger won't change your life, but a house full of standby devices adds up to easy waste. Look around the room right now. How many tiny lights do you see? How many devices are waiting for a remote, a Wi-Fi signal, or a command you may never send? That is not guilt, that is a clue. But before you start unplugging random things, the next step is to stop guessing and start tracking the data. If your bill is skyrocketing, stop guessing and start investigating. The first thing you need to do is open that bill and ignore the dollar amount for a second. Look at the actual kilowatt hours instead. If the price went up but your usage stayed the same, you're just dealing with a rate hike. But if your usage jumped, something inside your home has changed, and that is your first real clue. To find out what it is, log into your utilities online portal and look at your daily pattern. This is where the data tells a story. If you see spikes every afternoon, your cooling system is the obvious suspect. If the power jumps in the evening, it's likely the typical rush of cooking, laundry, and lights. But the real red flag is high usage at 3 a.m. If your house is sucking power while everyone is asleep, you may have found a silent energy drain, usually a malfunctioning water heater, a pump, or an old backup fridge that should have been retired years ago. If you're still not sure where to look, call your utility company and ask for a free energy audit. Many companies offer this because reducing peak demand can be cheaper than adding more grid capacity. For the smaller things you plug into the wall, you can get a cheap energy meter to test them yourself. It's the fastest way to realize that your vintage garage fridge is a financial disaster, or that your space heater is running like it's training for the Olympics. For bigger circuits, there is the breaker test. But quick safety note: if you are not comfortable around the breaker panel, don't mess with it. Call a professional, ask your utility, or get someone qualified to help. If you are comfortable and can do it safely, turn off major loads, watch the electric meter, then turn breakers back on one at a time. When one circuit makes the meter speed up, you've narrowed the search. That's when the fixes start making sense. This is where most advice gets generic. Change your filter, adjust your thermostat, seal your windows. All true, also very easy to ignore. So let's make it simpler. Think of saving money in 3 layers. The first layer is the quick stuff. Replace the AC filter. Clear leaves and debris around the outdoor unit. Close blinds during the hottest part of the day. Use smart power strips for device clusters. And if you're on time of use pricing, move big loads outside peak hours. These are easy wins. They won't fix a broken system, but they can stop obvious waste. The second layer is fixing the things that make your home work harder than it should. If the AC runs nonstop and the house still feels warm, don't just lower the thermostat. Check for dirty coils, low refrigerant, weak insulation, or duct leaks. If one room is always cold in winter, don't make a space heater its permanent roommate. Find out why that room is cold. Poor airflow, bad ducts, or weak insulation are often the real problem. Same with water heating. If the tank is old, set too high, full of sediment, or running constantly, maintenance can matter. A heat pump water heater is a bigger upgrade, but even basic fixes can stop waste. The third layer is where you spend money carefully. Before buying a new AC, furnace, or heat pump, get an energy audit. A new system will not help much if your air is escaping into the attic, crawl space, or garage. Seal first, upgrade second. That's the real strategy. Don't treat every tip like it matters equally. Stop the obvious waste, find the hidden problem, then spend money only where it actually fixes the bill. A high electric bill is not just a bill, it is a clue. And the first clue is simple. Did your kilowatt hour go up, or did your price per kilowatt hour go up? If usage went up, look inside the house. If the rate went up, look at your plan, your peak hours, and your utility charges. So here's the practical challenge. Open your latest electric bill and compare it with the same month last year. Not the total price, the actual kilowatt hour. Did your usage go up, or did the rate go up? Comment below with which one changed more, usage or price. And if you found a weird energy culprit in your house, tell us what it was. Because somewhere out there, someone is paying to cool an attic, heat a crawl space, or power a garage fridge that should have retired years ago.